The Last American Squaw by John Mark Mitchell. Prologue.
I see this earth consumed by flaming light, a blinding light. Yet I see it. All eyes upon the surface of this world see it also. Those mortal fools look up in terror and are blinded for their transgression. The encompassing heavens are violated, heralding all nature of hell. A sonic boom trumpets, a boom that reverberates far and broad and deep, alerting all pitiful souls to their impending doom. Clouds flee like ripples. Air itself is suffocated, a vacuum scooped from existence by divine rape. Hurtling towards the ground speeds a sodomy of fire and rage and power. It seems to bellow as it nears the surface and...
Act 1. Limbo. Chapter 1. Contained.
Dang. Pissed my bed again. Now, you don't know about me, without you were there that night. But that ain't no matter. I was there that night and don't know much about me nother. Except I made up my mind not to forget I was a girl. What I do know is these nightmares are getting mighty bad. So darn bad I'm waking up a-shouting. Blind as a mole, my wrinkly fingertips prod this damp mattress, weighed down by thick, sweaty thighs. One wholesome hand slips yonder past my belly, digs under the tight waistband and mines the sodden cotton breeches. Another pair destined for the laundry maids. It's wet, it's warm, but I hazard it ain't blood. Leastways, I hope it ain't blood. I've yet to bleed. Old nigger Jemima said this may not be a good thing. I gulped that eternal conditioning air past my lips, like a puckering squawfish flung from the river of life into a whole heap of desperation. How I'm even able to speak, let alone holler, got me misdeified. I mean, mystified. Words still trip and fumble off my tongue since that night, like a cat a-stumbling when it tries a leap. You know how they do. I do too on account of my current condition. See, I'm a kind of cat. Not a real one, mind. That's what you call an analogy. I may be all woman, as pale-faced Holly often declares, but I'm also cataleptic. That's what they all say for how I just stop at times. So terrified I'm gonna suffocate in my sleep one night. Hero, lights on if you please. My command stabs blinding light into me, all the way past these pecan eyes, all the way past my mind's eyes, into my ambling brain. Dang, hero, lights off, I whimper, and welcome darkness returns to envelop me. Back in the pitch black, I'm fully awake now and sitting upright. That much at least I can tell. Yet another nightmare had the fantods loosened my bladder and opened 4 fountains of the deep. Loosened my tongue, too, this time. Loosened it good. I hollered before I bolted up. Now, what was that word at the beginning? What form did that word take? Rain. That's it. I hollered rain. Shot it straight past these voluptuous lips. Shot it like an arrow, straight and sure into the starless heavens. Voluptuous lips. I do like that, I gotta say. I reckon I'm a pretty innocent girl, even if not at all pretty. But everyone is in accordance with the opinion of wee Sapphy, who really is a doll, in that innocent, red-headed manner. Barely older than me, I'd hazard. But this directed obsession with my lips, which she denies red-faced, is cute if misguided. I mean, misguided. Red-faced? Ha! Now that's what you call an ironicality. Wrinkly saturate my fingers, and slick palms sink into the mattress. This Mississippi raft is taking on water, Huck, and I really do not think we shall make Cairo. I got a pair of bony elbows kicking out like the hind legs of a braying buck-eyed mule, and sweltering arm flap quivering under these shirt sleeves. Baby fat, pale-faced Holly explained to me last week. Firkin will soon put pay to that, she winked. Dr. Shimura's exquisite cheekbones swim sharply across my mind's eyes. It's so darn black after that blinding nightmare. But then I get to the knowing why. Pulling away the sheet of hair blanketing my side, it becomes less black. I set my mind and blocked up nose to breathing good. The air inside this room never stops blowing, new and fresh and conditioning. But just one suck up my clogged nostrils tickles out a sneeze, shattering the nighttime quiet. When the echoes fade and die, it leaves a rhythmic pitter-patter from outside. Bitter tangs of lemon prick the hairs inside my big old nose. That lemony scent of pies and Amway juice finally slices through and stings behind my eyes. The maids here scrub it on floors, walls, tables, heck, dang near everywhere. And yet, you can't drink it. Now, how mixed up is that? My ambling stomach was sure mixed up a day or two, I can tell you. And that makes my belly start ambling once more, 'cause then I remember where I am. I am in the asylum. I am safe. Well, for now, leastways. A thing about that night flashes across my mind, but it's gone just as fast. These flashes come often, but never stay long enough to cling a hold of, to get my claws in, so to speak. There is, however, one detail from before that night which remains with me. I slip a finger under my curtain of hair, like I'm reaching into nothingness to flick open a lid on a formless container. I look in. All my mind's eyes see her. Show Dinger's cat. That cat looks up, mighty sleepy-like, looking all bleary-eyed at me. You know how cats do. She purrs. Why turn lights on, girl? Naughty cat, lounging lazy, feline eyes obsessed with that pies and vial. But in the box on the back of my neck, hidden from view behind my mane, I feel it's still there. There's no actual box, of course. That's another analogy. But what there is 2 lines, and I trace these lines all too regular. White hot lines, branded on the smooth bronze skin of a red face, to form a pink welt shaped like an Elle. It's the sole clue to who I am, and why they all call me Elle. Composure rather than calm settles across my broad shoulders, and what muscles I do possess relax, now that I can finally breathe some. I'm so terrified I'm gonna suffocate in my sleep one night. Into focus now comes that razor-thin sword blade of silver that lies off a ways, underneath the door. A locked door, at the far end of this unsettling long old bedroom. Even with lights on, my mind plays the fantods with me, and that doorway appears to slowly conveyor into the distance. Conveyor. That's a new word I got teached quick. Now, with lights out, it becomes an eternal pathway whose ending is forever out of reach. Bit like that M or I container those nurses tried to pin me inside. Right back at the start, after that night, screaming and kicking like a mule. M or I. They couldn't even be sure what name to give it. Folks seem so mixed up about all manner of a thing nowadays, particularly in the asylum. Holly like what she like, Sapphy like what she like, and many swings both of the ways. I put that M or I tunnel out of my mind's eyes and snort out tension, like a restless mare, fettered and surrounded by huffing mustangs. I guess I ought to be grateful. Jemima reminds me so, and oh so often. This narrow room was provided solely for me after my snoring spun Saint Amanda into yet another litany of hysteria. And Amanda tries to hold sway here, with all the stiffness of a wannabe governess. Certainly uptight as one. I'd call her Miss Watson, but she's married. Leastways, she was. I see the ring wear, a band of scarlet round her finger, to match the one carved round her wrist. Boy, girl, uptight all right. Mind, I guessed her history now, so got a shred of sympathy. Just a shred, mind. Dank horse hair clings to my sticky, swollen cheeks and curls up on my lap like a witch's puss. I am just soaked through. I need me a good hot shower come morning time. In this darkness, I can hear only rain patter at the polygraph bars barricading the sealed polygraph window. I hold my snuffling off a moment to listen. The sound reminds me of a vast swarm of blood-red baby crabs, all a-clicking, a-covering, and crawling across each other trying to escape. Now, that is indeed peculiar. I can only assume I witnessed that someplace. Was it on the Asnet, maybe? Perhaps Jemima mentioned it. That crone's ancient Negro wisdom is as sound as the authority she wrestles over our little tribe. Rain's odd for St. Anthony this season, or thus I'm reminded by patients and nurses and maids alike. It's been 2 days of almost constant flitting rain, like tiny tears from heaven. I huff like a sullen port-saddled mongrel. Tears from heaven? What a sap-head analogy. But then I freeze. I hear it. I know I can hear it. Scuttling right under my bed. A rat. My skin puckers up like a plucked turkey. I'd pull this chunky blanket back over me, but it's already bundled off my bed, slouching on the floor like a buffalo dying in the chalky dust. And, oh jinx, my legs have stopped up too. The critter might climb up from the floor. Maybe that's why it's gone so dead quiet. His tiny claws digging into the fabric, hauling itself up. I hold my breath. I turn my cheek every which way to catch the hearing of it. Ambling ears strain hard. I can't make out a thing. Is it gone? Or is it lying in wait? You know how they do. I could pull the bedspread back up, but it might be clinging there, just waiting for me to do that. and then it'll be all over me, scurrying all over my goosey flesh. No, Elle, no. Gotta be my imagination. There are no holes, no cracks, no gaps. I make sure, I always make sure. Every single night. Even a mouse would be hard-pressed, literally, to squeeze under that locked door. Many's the time I tried a fit in my bitten fingernails. I listen intently, desperate to breathe for the second occasion tonight. Muffled raindrops, that's all. Raindrops soothe me. I let loose a whole lot of tension. Wrinkled fists let go of the damp sheets and I fart softly. That ain't ladylike. I echo Amanda's blaring condemnation out loud, crying out her whiny witch voice. It trilled weeks before in the crowded saloon. Still stings my pride. What, Amanda? Holly had sneered back. Didn't your pussy fart that first time? Amanda fled the saloon after that, like she was gonna let rip. First time I witnessed the old nag do that. Tears a-bubbling behind those wiry spectacles. Holly's retort was executed to defend me, as she does when Amanda attacks me so, and oh so often. What she meant confused me then. Still does, but I don't let on. I mean, I know Holly's talking about Amanda's cunt. Heck, at least there's one down there to prove she's still a woman. Personally, I prefer to call mine Kitty. Schrodinger's cat approves. Both of them. Cats, that is, not kitties. I've only got but the one kitty. I peer down, satisfied I'm alone in this tomb-like chamber. The baggy t-shirt Dr. Shimura gifted me no longer bears his scent. It don't smell of forbidden tea, none of them ever do. Instead, it's soaked in my own girly sweat for yet another troubled night. Even in this gloom I can see my nipples stick out like twin arrowheads. Harley confided in me once, while we were alone in the saloon. See, all too regular her wild chitter-chatter leaves the two of us in this manner. The pale-face wished, with a forlorn sigh, staring at my chest and all dreamy, wished that she was born with chewy nips. Nausea swirls bile inside my ambling belly now the phantom rat has vanished. The smell of Amway lemon mingles with piss. The conditioned air carries the soup up my clogged nostrils like it's forcing its way through a choked reed. The usual morning time sickness looms like that overwhelming army which destroyed Harley's old New York. Fuck! I hurl sickness across the bed. I use that cuss word often now, but only when alone, and even then my pecan eyes shift all round me. Like now. Did I do all this before that night? Was I a child who spoiled her bed regular? Is it 'cause of these nightly dreams I keep getting all sick? Or is it 'cause of my present condition? I got no idea. I'm just an abandoned native girl with no identity. I can but recollect the past 6 weeks.